What's good, y'all? Wave Magnetic here, and I'm back with another tutorial. I'm coming strong with these tutorials, y'all. I'm getting back on my game. Gonna teach. You feel me? I've been learning a lot, and I gotta share the wealth. You know what I'm saying? So this video today is going to be about how to mix vocals with a 2-track. So when you don't have all of the different drums and the bass and everything stemmed out in different tracks, if all you got is the 2-track, this is how to mix the vocals that you record with just the 2-track. Okay. So if you like this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button below, hit the notification bell so you know when the next time I have a video, and also share and like the videos. If you learn something from this, make sure you share it with your friends because they may want to learn something too. And it helps me out a little bit too. One more announcement before we go on. I have t-shirts available, the Relentless t-shirts. I have a few of them left, so go to my website and get one of those. The link to that will be in the description below. And yeah, let's get to it. So this track right here is another track from Viscosa. This is his song called Mine. All right, so what I got here, this is the 2-track that they gave me, or that he gave me, and then these are all the vocals that he gave me right here. Okay, so let's listen to the hook. Let's hear what this thing sounds like finished. Okay.
I got a lot on my mind. I gotta go out and get it. Too many of my boys on the grind. I wish all of y'all was still living. I got a lot on my mind. Why motherfuckers keep tripping? Just cause I'm on the block don't mean I'm back in the kitchen water whipping.
All right, so you get the point there. Sounds dope. Killing track. All right. So I always listen to the vocal in the track, okay? Because you're not going to EQ, you're not going to compress, you're not going to listen to the thing by itself. So that's the first mistake people make, is doing all of this processing on the vocals in solo. You do this stuff by itself, and then you wonder why it doesn't fit in the mix. It's going to fit in the mix if you do it in the mix, okay? So first thing is I'm listening to the vocal here.
I got a lot on my mind. I got to go out and get it.
So first thing I say to myself is, it's not loud enough. It's not consistent enough. So what am I going to do? I'm going to put a compressor on it. All right. So first thing is I put this Black 76 from T-Rex on there. I love FET compressors. I love the 1176 on vocals. I don't care what brand it is. I don't care if it's Waves, if it's T-Rex, if it's UAD or whoever makes the doggone thing. Give me a FET, give me a 1176, and we can get this going. All right. So I put this 1176 on vocals most of the time, especially like hip hop vocals or rock vocals or in EDM tracks. The release time is all the way up. This 7 is as fast as it goes. Okay. And I usually have the attack around 3. So let's see how it sounds now.
I got a lot on my mind. I gotta go out and get it. Too many of my boys on the grind. I wish all of y'all was still living.
Now that sounds good to me. That sounds like it's a good volume. Okay. Now first, actually, we put a little bit of tuning on here because these cats, they wanted to have that auto-tune effect on their voice. They wanted it to sound that way. So I used the Waves tune to get that going. I put it in the key of the song, which is G flat. And then I just mess with the speed until it sounds right. All right. So you guys can use whichever one you want. Waves tune, you can use auto tune, whatever. They all do the same thing. So we got that T-Pain vibe on there. We got our level going. All right. So now sounds good, but it's a little muddy. It's not clear. So I'm going to pull up the 1073 plugin from T-Rex. All right. And I'm turning that on. So what I did with that is, since it wasn't bright enough, I boosted a little bit of 12K. I boosted the presence frequency at 3.2K. I boosted a little 220 because that brings a little bit of the low frequency energy in. This right here is the distortion portion of the EQ. So I use this EQ sometimes because It gives you that distortion. It gives a top end sheen that's pretty nice. And then I did a low cut at 80 hertz. Okay, so let's turn this on and off.
I got a lot on my mind. I gotta go out and get it.
Off.
Too many of my boys on the grind. I wish all of y'all was still living. I got a lot on my mind.
On.
Why motherfuckers keep tripping? Just cause I'm on the block don't mean I'm back in the kitchen water whipping. I got a lot on my.
Sounds good, right? Dope. Now, the last thing I put on here is a limiter. Okay. I use the L2 because that's the one I own. A lot of people use the L1 when they do this on vocals. Well, I won't say a lot of people. I'll say the people who use the limiters on their vocals. A lot of times they use L1s. I use the L2 just because that's what I have. I don't own the L1. And this works fine. So this is just so that you can catch the peaks from the compression. So when you hit the 1176 hard, it hits it hard, and then you get a little bit of woofiness, okay? And then you use the EQ here to brighten up the vocal, get rid of some of the woofiness, but at the same time, if you have a thinner vocal, that woofiness brings the bottom end in, and you don't have to EQ it in because the compressor brought it in. You see what I'm saying here? And if your vocal is a little bit, if it needs brightening up and you hit it, it's a little bit more woofy, you can just take it out. Like, it's no big deal. But what this does is that it gets rid of the problem frequencies. So a lot of times people will EQ out problem frequencies and do all this different stuff with dynamic EQs or multi-band compression. Now, that's a way to go about it. But what I learned is that if I hit the 1176 hard enough and get my level first and then put the EQ before the compressor, then I EQ into the compressor will even out any of the excessive EQing that I do. You see what I'm saying? So it's really crazy how this works. But the problem is that people will EQ their track first, and then they'll put the compressor on, and they'll wonder why it don't sound right. It's because you got to EQ into the compressor while it's compressing. Remember that, okay? And then I put the L2. I use my limiter just to catch any peaks that come past the compressor, because with attack of 3, it leaves a little bit of room for the vocal to spit out and then go up a little bit higher, right? And that right there prevents you from having to use a de-esser. I don't even have a de-esser on this vocal because I did it this way. If I did it where I compressed first and then EQ'd it later, I'd have all the sibilance. So this prevents you from having to use a de-esser. And then sometimes you still have to use de-esser, and then you de-ess it, but you don't have to do it as much. All right? So I did that. And then you see this thing right here that says envelope follower. What this does is now, since I have these vocals in here, right? I have all this processing on here, and I got it going over this track. Now, what I do is, this is side chaining. This right here is making so that this vocal side chains to this this EQ right here. Watch.
I got a lot on my mind. I gotta go out and get it.
You see that? So the frequency that was getting in the way in this track so that you couldn't hear it, the vocals, was around 1.2K. So I set this EQ at 1.2K, and I made it sidechain to the vocal here, this vocal here, so that it gets out of the way every time this vocal comes. And then when the vocal's not there, that frequency comes back in the track. Check this out. I'm going to turn it on and off.
I got a lot on my mind. I gotta go out and get it. Too many of my boys on the grind. I wish all of y'all was still living. I got a lot on my mind. Why motherfuckers keep tripping? Just cause I'm on the block don't mean I'm back in the kitchen water whipping.
Yo, you see that? It's night and day. Without that sidechain going on the track, it makes it so that the vocals don't pop. And then you have to turn them up really loud, but then they don't fit in the track, okay? So I got that going right there. Then after I got all my level, I got my EQ going. I took that and I just copied it over to this vocal right here. This is the exact same stuff. Same EQ, same EQ, same compressor, same limiter. The same exact thing. They're the same thing. They're doubles. You want them to be EQ'd the same way. They're recorded on the same microphone by the same guy. All right. So I did that there. And then after that, I put some reverb on here. I like the Valhalla reverb. You know, I always use my reverbs on return tracks. Okay. So I sent it out here. And this right here is a quarter note delay. And I have this here. This is a slap delay. Okay. And I have it set, the Ableton delay is actually kind of cool. You can kind of make a tape echo kind of vibe with it. Yeah, I like this shit. And I have all of the vocals running through those. Every single vocal is going through this chain right here. They have the same sound. You want your vocals to sound like they are, you want all of the rappers and the singers to sound like they're in the same room. Don't put different stuff on the different vocals. Make them sound like they working together. You feel me? Use the same stuff. There's nothing wrong with it. That's the problem with a lot of people is they keep trying to reinvent the doggone wheel. Yo, when somebody had a console, if you were working on a console, what would you do? You'd be working on that console alone. If you had an SSL console, you had SSL EQs, you had SSL compressors, and then if you needed reverb, you had a reverb that you bust everything out to. They all going to the same doggone reverb. They're going to the same delays. They're getting the same treatment. You might have 2 or 3 of them because they're creating, like, your delay is a quarter note on one machine, and then on another machine it's a slap. You might have like that, but pretty much people are just using the same stuff. All right. Anyway, so I got that going. Anyway, so I got that going. And then I go to this next vocal right here. And it's the same thing. I have the same exact chain going. I have the EQ, I boost the high end, 3.2K, 220. It's the same thing. I literally just copied it over and did mild tweaks to all of the vocals, okay? Check it out. Yeah. So then I got... Oh, I did something different with this one. What did I do here? No. Yeah, okay. So on this vocal right here, I did pretty much the same doggone thing. Same chain. So let's hear it.
Please give me a sign. God made me a soldier. Promise to hold it down till my day is over. I got a cloud in mind. Confess I'm smoking too much now.
Same thing right there, right? I also have the envelope follower going. And that's on here. Let's turn that off. And that's going here.
Please give me a sign. God made me a soldier. Promise to hold it down.
That's taking out 1.1, around 1.2K right there. And just like the other track, okay? Now, the thing with this one, I wanted this one to be just a little bit more in your face. So I put an exciter on here. And this is doing all of these vocals, this chain, right? All of this cat's vocals, all of Vescosa's vocals. Right here. So I got this frequency right here. I'm boosting that up a little bit, putting a little bit of distortion on it and the high end just to make the track a little bit brighter. Okay. And here, yeah. And then I have this EQ afterwards, just dipping out a little bit of the mids because it got a little woofy. So let's hear it with and without this part.
Please give me a sign. God made me a soldier. Promise to hold it down till my day is over. I got a cloud in mind. Confess I'm smoking too much now.
You see that? Simple. Clean them up a little bit. And now it is ready to go. Okay. See here. What did I do here? This right here. Same chain. Same chain. These are the oohs. and I just made them a little brighter. Gave them a little bit more presence at 1K. Simple stuff. Simple. Let's see here. Then this is my man's verse right here. The same exact chain. I may have even done the exact same EQ on this. Nah, I gave him a little bit extra, but it's almost the same exact thing. You know, it's the same frequencies right there. Got my 1176 going into my limiter right there, and it's the same envelope follower going to the track. Just getting rid of the frequency so that you can hear it. Right here.
Chose in my neck and my wrist and my grill all frozen. Riding through the city with my trunk wide open. I hardly ever.
Right there. These are all the same right here. And they're all going through here. So that's pretty much how you do it. You don't have to go crazy with all this. A lot of times people overthink the stuff. You overthink it. All you got to do is put a compressor, EQ into the compressor, and you put a limiter after it. And you're like 99% of the way there. The rest of it is just like some reverb and delay, pretty much. And if you feel like you want to do a little extra stuff. So, if you guys learned something new, make sure you hit the subscribe button below and the notification bell so you know next time I do another video. And also, I got these t-shirts in right here, the Relentless t-shirts. I have a few of these left from my Virtual Vibes gig, and there will be another Virtual Vibes show coming up later on this month, so watch out for that. The link will be in the description for you to purchase shirts at wavemagnetic.com/shop. You can pick up 30 of these motherfuckers, because, man, I got to pay the light bill, you feel me? And I got to take care of my baby. All right, y'all. I'll see you on the next one. Peace!